I've been playing music for as long as I can remember, and I've played on some pretty cool stages. I've played on some big stages, and I've played on some small stages to not a lot of people. But there's one thing that I've always consistently done throughout my career, and that's following a set list. My thing's always been like I want as little space of awkwardness between song to song. Kind of like that. You see how that was kind of awkward right there? I don't like that when I'm playing live. I just like to go from song to song. A big part of that is when I go to a show, I like to hear as much music as possible. But another part of that is I don't have to talk to the audience as much, and that can do wonders because I have no filter and I will say whatever's on my mind, and sometimes people don't like that. So writing out a set list has always kind of been a really nice guide for me and my bandmates because we know, all right, we're going to do this and then it's going to go right into that, and we can figure out a segue if we want to. Maybe it's planned already, maybe it's not planned. And you always want to read the room. So if we're playing to a bunch of college kids, we're not going to play Run Around. No, we might play Run Around too because people actually like that song. But we're not going to play like 38 Special or, I don't know. I don't know why I thought of 38 Special. That song. My point is you got to tailor the set list to the room, but they are by no means foolproof. You can switch it up. You can communicate with each other on stage and say, hey, I'm going to skip this song. I don't think it's going to hit. We're going to do this song. You can pick up when you're on that stage. You can pick up, all right, this is a heavier crowd, or this is a lighter crowd, or this is a crowd that wants to dance. This is a crowd that wants to just sit and watch and eat their dinner in peace. This is a crowd that wants to mosh and throw hands. This is where the story kind of takes a turn. By the way, this is story time. Maybe I'll start doing a weekly story time. Let me know if you want that in the comments. But I, as of literally a couple weeks ago, just started hosting an open mic. I'm not doing it every week, but I'm doing it, I guess, technically every third week. But it's really been like every other week at this point. And as the host, I have a couple jobs. One is to be the house guitarist. So I bring this, or I bring this, or I bring another guitar. I don't really know which one. Oh, this would be a good thumbnail, actually. Hold on. Let me make a stupid face. That looks so stupid. I'm not going to make that a thumbnail. Or maybe I will. There's a couple things I need to do when I'm hosting this open mic. One is to MC, which is pretty straightforward. I have a list, and I tell people sign up on this, and I'll call you up. But this is like a full band backline open mic. You could call it a jam if you want. And it's kind of cool because if you ever play with a band, you can come in and we will provide the band for you. Me being the house guitarist, that's the second thing I have to do at this open mic. I don't know why I did this like I was about to go down like a water slide, but that's what I'm thinking in my head right now, the chilly November season. Typically how it works is someone will want to sign up, and if they want to play with a band, there's a couple things. We'll talk about, what songs do you know that I also know, and the bassist knows, and the drummer knows. And we'll go from there. Sometimes people want to play original songs, and they'll teach us the original songs. But typically there's some sort of plan. It's a ton of fun because I get to play a lot of genres I don't typically play, and I can kind of sometimes make a fool of myself because I don't know the language of, jazz or folk or rockabilly or bluegrass or, you name it. I really only play rock and metal. But it's just fun to experiment in other genres and see what I come up with. So the other night, this guy comes in, and he's a singer. So he didn't play any instrument, and we had to play everything for him. And he wanted to do a Stone Temple Pilots song, and he wanted to do a Black Sabbath song that the band members knew. And we were like, okay, cool, we'll do those songs. That's easy enough. By the way, there were congas set up, and I don't know why they were set up. This guy walks on stage and just starts banging away at the congas. And the house bassist just starts grooving on something. And we literally just jammed. We're jamming, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's play the song. So it's like, no, this is what I want to do. I want to play the congas, and I want to just do this for my set now. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's no plan here. And it's interesting because I've always considered myself more of a songwriter and like a parts player than I am a guitarist. Like, this is just a tool for me to get what I have in my head out into the public. So I love playing songs because it's like, all right, here's a start, here's a middle section, here's an end section. This was just totally winging it on the fly. It was a traditional jam. Contrary to popular belief, I don't always like doing that. Actually, sometimes I absolutely despise doing that. But this time it was a ton of fun. So that's what we did. We went totally off script. We had zero plans, and we just jammed, and we came up with this thing. Ton of fun, and it was like a whole new world for me where we just kind of did nothing. We had nothing planned. You know, I think it's one thing to be playing and you're like, all right, we're going to extend this section of a song just because we need to kill time. But it's another thing to be like, all right, now this guy has this much time on stage that we need to give him, and we got nothing planned. We're just going to go with it and see what happens. And he's just playing conga, so it's not like he's telling us what to do. He's not dictating anything. So we just kind of were just winging it. It was pure 100% improv from the start, and I had not done something like that, and it had to be at least before the pandemic. And there was something oddly liberating about this experience. I have a theory why. I think because I have come from years of basically just doing, this is the set. I've always been about the show, and I've always been about, this is the part that you play during the song, and then we go to the next song. It's just the song. That's just how it works. When I was doing the cruise, it was very much, all right, we have 3 sets for the night, and we might, again, like I said at the beginning, we might change a song up here or there, but we're playing the song. Actually, this cruise was, it shouldn't have been this strict, but it was very much like we're trying to play the song pretty much as is to the record, or the album, or recording, or whatever you want to call it. And then this top 40 cover band I'm in right now, Night Anthem, it's very much just like, all right, like, there's a ton of synth backing tracks, so we can't really improvise at all, which is for better or worse. So just being able to go up there and be like, all right, we're just going to totally make something up on the fly was something I never thought I would enjoy doing for the longest time. And then I did it, and I was like, damn, this is really, really cool. And I want to just say, I'm not bashing musicians that like doing that. I know plenty of people that do that for gigs. They'll get hired to play like 3 hours, and they'll end up playing like 6 songs the entire night, and it's just a jam. It's a long jam session. That's not my thing. I've always been about songs and hooks and just going into one song to another song to another song. I think Motley Crue did that to me way back in my first Motley Crue concert ever, when they did Kickstart My Heart into Wild Side into Shout at the Devil straight through. I was like, that's really cool. That was a core memory. Just like me trying to share my newfound appreciation for this kind of stuff with you guys on YouTube. I don't know how often I'll get to do this, but I just wanted to share it with you because I did film the whole thing. We don't have a name for this. It's, I'm going to call it the Carlos Santana, the Carlos Santana, oh, let me say this. Santana kind of rhymes with Mandela. So the Carlos Santana Mandela effect, because you might think Carlos Santana wrote this, but he didn't. I did. That's what I'm going to call it. The Carlos Santana Mandela effect. No, actually, hold on. Carlos Santana Claus. That's the name. Carlos Santana Claus. That's what the song is called. It was me and then my friends Garrett and Derek. I always, for some reason, that's a tongue twister for me. But they're on drums and bass respectively, and some dude named Kyle, and you get it because it's an inside joke now. Kyle was on congas, and we had a ton of fun playing Carlos Santana Claus, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna post it here. The rest of the video is gonna be Carlos Santana Claus, and I hope you guys can see how much fun we're having just playing whatever we feel like playing. You're gonna see me because I'm so not used to it. You're gonna see me turn to them and be like, all right, we done yet? Are we done yet? And then they just like, no, we're going to keep going. And I'm like, okay, I just get to noodle around. Thank you for tuning in. This is... I can't even say that title with a straight face. But it's appropriate because we're getting up on the holiday season. This is... It's not even that funny. It's just stupid because I'm picturing Carlos Santana with his like big shit-eating grin with a Santa Claus hat on. That's what I want the album art to be. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you want more Sunday story times. And I give you Carlos Santana Claus. Peace out.